May 8, 2021, Yudu, thunderstorm. On the first day in Yundu County, the little guide Ji Yuming told me the story about a wife sending her husband to join the Red Army. This place, Yudu, is also known as the Long March Source. It's located in the east of Guangzhou City, Jiangxi Province, and regarded as the starting point of the Long March of the Central Red Army and the last base of the Central Soviet area. On the Binjiang Road in the county stands the monument for the departure for the Long March. On May 20, 2019, Chinese President Xi Jinping came here to present a flower basket to commemorate the martyrs who died in the Long March. On the east side of the monument, there is a dock built by grey bricks. It is where the Red Army gathered to cross the river. In 1934, the main force of the Central Red Army assembled here and embarked on the long march of 12,500 kilometers. Tens of thousands of people in Yudu County embarked on the long journey with the Red Army. This ancient city, Red Spirit, attracts many tourists from home and abroad every year, telling people about the glorious history.
Yudu is very famous. Do you know why? Because it has a history over 2,000 years, and actually the Red Army, their starting point was over here in 1934. Now guess what? During the 2019, actually the president of China, Mr. Xi Jinping, came here to commemorate and pay respect and bring a huge beautiful flower to this beautiful amazing place that I'm standing in front of. All I can say, this place has been over 87 years, and this place, as you can see, is still standing with a beautiful history of the spirit of the Long March, but mostly people come here to learn about the legacy of the Red Army.
In 1934, due to the failure of the fifth counter-campaign against encirclement and suppression, the Central Red Army was ready to implement the strategic shift, and Yudu County, with abundant rice and large population, became the transfer place of the Red Army's final breakthrough. On October 17th, more than 86,000 people from the main force of the Central Red Army arrived in Yudu and began to cross the Yudu River. In order to commemorate those brave revolutionary martyrs, in 1996, a memorial hall was built beside the bank of Yudu River, and it's called the Memorial Hall of Departure of the Long March by Central Red Army. In the Memorial Hall, I was fortunate to invite the guide who explained to President Xi Jinping in 2019 to show me around. She told me such an amazing story.
老师你好。
你好。
老师，您可以介绍一下自己啊？
好的，我是于都县博物馆中央红军长征出发纪念馆的讲解员钟敏，同时我也是位红军后代。我在这个纪念馆里从事宣教一线工作，已经有20多年的历史了。
老师，我听说过您知道很多红军的故事，你能不能告诉我们一个故事？
好的，当年中央红军从于都集结出发，8万多人在这个地方。当时于都出发长征的于都儿女有17000多人，但解放后活下来的只剩下了277位。同时，他们的亲人们也付出了巨大的牺牲和贡献。我知道了一位红军家属段奶奶，今年已经是103岁高龄，她是目前赣州地区唯一还健在的红军烈士家属。她的丈夫叫王金长，是于都车溪坝脑人。32年，她把丈夫送到于都车头区的一棵大樟树下参加红军。路过墟上的时候，她买了双草鞋，当做送别的礼物送给自己丈夫。丈夫把身上穿的对面巾脱下，郑重折叠好回赠给她，并嘱托她 你要听妈妈的话，孝顺妈妈。我最多离开3-5年，你一定要等我回来。”段奶奶就这么一直等啊等啊，等到53年，接到了民政部下发的一张烈士证书。老人对我们说：“我不识字啊。”在2019年总书记来于都之前，段奶奶来到我们纪念馆里，在纪念馆里草鞋墙前，老人摸着草鞋墙失声痛哭。他说：“整整等你87年，你怎么还没回来？”其实2019年5月20号，总书记接见了我们的段奶奶。当时他握住她的手说：“中国共产党要不忘初心，全中国人民要不忘初心，不忘我们的革命理想、革命宗旨，不忘我们的革命前辈、革命先烈，不要忘了我们的父老乡亲们。”
On the night of October 17th, 1934, 86,000 Central Red Army assembled by Yudu River and set foot on the long march paved with blood and tears. In order not to expose the target, the Red Army concealed themselves during the days and crossed the river at night. To ensure the smooth crossing of the Red Army, the Yudu people strongly supported the Red Army, and 300,000 Yudu people kept this big secret together. At night, the people rowed the fishing boats and carried door panels, bedboards, and even planks for coffins to build a bridge for the Red Army. In the morning, the bridge was demolished and hidden, and everything was restored to its original state. This was repeated for 4 days until all the Red Army crossed the river and the enemy was never aware of it.
This amazing setup shows everything about the Long March. It shows about the Red Army and everything that really caught my attention. For instance, as you can see here, we have an amazing scenery here. As you can see, a father who's trying to say goodbye to his son. It's very emotional, but of course, he's willing to help the country to go for the Long March. But something else, follow me. As you can see here, we also have, maybe major officers welcoming new Red Army to join the forces. I mean, it's everything nicely done. But something else really caught my attention, guys. Guess what? The locals and the Red Army were a nation, and of course, they are working as a family. For instance, as you can see here, the local was helping the Red Army to build the bridge so that the Red Army can cross over the sea. And then here, we also see that the Red Army here, because long time ago, they didn't have enough wood, but of course, the locals used to help the Red Army, providing them wood to build a nice, strong bridge for them to cross over the Yizhuang. As you can see here, this amazing background, it shows everything about the Long March. I'm really loving it, and I really can feel how the Red Army was really doing anything to overcome their power.
The night crossing is going on quietly, but the enthusiasm of Yudu people to support the Red Army is rushing like a torrent. The local people took out all the food they could and removed all the available wooden boards in their ancestral houses.
Well, guys, I'm so excited to be here in this amazing exhibition. Do you know why? I can feel like the people here, the atmosphere, they're so proud of what happened during the 1934 here in Yudu. For instance, here you can see people are still collecting some remaining resources. As you can see here, we have some cup where they used to drink tea. We have some sandals here made of grass. We have some socks here. And then this is actually a loan certificate. For instance, it's like when you don't have anything to eat, so you can borrow some food, rice, let's say some vegetables. So it's like a certificate of loan. So basically, if you don't have anything to eat, you have a certificate of loan.
Seeing the help of the people in the Soviet area, Zhong Anlei said, "The people of Yudu are really kind, and the people of the Soviet area are really close to us." This sentence is also engraved on the stone tablet in front of the memorial hall for the departure of the Long March. I think joining the Red Army requires not only lofty ideals, but also enough courage to face death. So I ask myself, if I will join the Red Army at that time, I can only say So I asked the same question to the deputy curator of the memorial hall. Let's see what he has to say.
老师，我想问你，就是如果你在那个年代，然后呢，自己的女孩或者儿子或者你的爱人，参加长征，你会什么感受？
有这样一支队伍，他会为老百姓，为最普通的老百姓，而且是1200的老百姓去打天下谋幸福。可能我在当时来说也会跟着部队走。那谁也想要一个安稳的生活，谁也应该是平等的一个生活。凭什么你就吃香的喝辣的，是吧？所以在那样的按照我来回，所以我去统计了当时这个长征的红军战士啊，当时大部分按照他们的平均年龄啊，都是在22岁左右的人，都是在这个年龄段的人。所以想象他们能够去付出，我觉得是值得。可能我也会，如果生长在那个年代，可能我也会做出这样的决定，会跟着红军走。
87 years ago, three powerful leaders, I'm talking about Mao Zedong, Zhu De, and of course Deng Xiaoping, actually organized 8 ferries for the Red Army to board from this beautiful river, the Yudhu River, to cross over the other land. Right now, we still don't know how many people survived that time during the spirit of the Long March.
The Long March spirit originated in Yudhu. Here, local people sang it from generation to generation. In this city, there is a chorus called the Long March Source Chorus. The members are all descendants of the Red Army. They have been singing the Long March songs here for 11 years. Today, I was fortunate enough to meet a teacher to see if I could learn to sing a short piece of a local folk song.
老师你好，
你好。
我今天非常开心来这里。那首先你能不能介绍自己啊？
好的。我叫肖婷婷，是于都县长征园合唱团的团员。
老师，我今天来这里，我非常喜欢这个地方的历史，而且我听说过你们的有一个非常 interesting song 叫那个送郎红军，对吧？
送郎当红军。
当红军对吧？
对。
然后我今天来这里，因为我想学习一下，你能不能教我可以吗？因为我真的想学习啊。
可以啊。那这样我先把这首歌唱一遍。
好的。
那这首歌呢是这样的。夜送那个龙有东北有黑，跟那个头颅有年残阳，自奔头颅老马就有黑，自奔个嘎黑爱推年呀，公阿呀，自奔个嘎黑爱推年呀，
好听。那老师，我想问一下，这个歌词是什么意思？因为我大概能不能告诉我们什么意思呢？
可以的。这首歌的话呢，其实就是在苏区的时候啊，我们的这种宣传队唱的这样的歌曲，来鼓舞发动我们的群众呢去参加红军的这样一首山歌。它的这个歌词内容呢是这样的：依送我的郎去当兵，革命的道路要认清。资本道路郎莫走，资本家是我敌人。哥呀妹呀，资本家是我敌人。 就是这样的。
哦，挺好。那我有一个问题想问你，老师，就是那个年代，他们会唱个一模一样的歌手吗？
对，我们现在唱的这个歌就是那个时候流传下来的。
哦，
对，当时的我们的这些苏区妇女干部呀，他们就是唱着这样的山歌，把我们的亲人送到了红军的队伍当中。
这样。啊，太好了，那我现在想学习可以吗？
可以啊，那我来教您。
好，可以啊。
那我唱一句，你就跟着我来学一句。
好的，一句好吧。
好，可以。
OK。
它是这样的：夜送俺个龙，
夜送俺个龙，
有东北有黑，
有东北有黑，
给们个套路。
给们个套路，给们个套路，
有年成呀，
有年成呀，
资本套路，
资本套路，
老么就有黑，
老么
就有黑，资本跟嘎黑，
资本跟嘎黑，
爱忒年呀，爱忒
OK， 爱忒年呀，
哟喂。
够了，谢谢。这太难了，
Although I didn't sing this song as the teacher taught me, which the dialect is really difficult, I was really impressed.
Here in Yudu, we have the Chongzheng Yuan Choir. Actually, they are composed by the descendants of the Red Army family. Actually, they are the only ones who can sing this beautiful song that has so many legacies and, of course, history inside. All I can say, this song is actually sung in the Jiangxi dialect language, and it's very mesmerizing because not only you can find the history of it, but, of course, the legacy of the spirit of the Long March.
In Yudu, the word I heard most is separation. There is also a local saying, no news from the north, which means those Red Army soldiers participated in the Long March and set off to the north, but since then, there has been no news.
The Red Army, when you think about that word, what comes in your mind? Well, there's so many words, but for me, I can say hardship. Let me tell you why. As you can see here, we have a brave guy here who is saying goodbye to his wife, but of course to his 2 kids as well. I mean, it takes compassion, bravery to say that, and of course to leave your family and friends, right? All I can say, to become a Red Army and of course to participate in the Long March really takes a good heart and of course bravery and compassion, as you can see here, like this guy did.
May 9th, 2021, Yudu, sunny. Today is a rare good weather after I arrived in Yudu, but it's also my last day here. In my opinion, this place is actually a microcosm of China's development. The older generation participated in the revolution to establish a new country, and the new generation followed the spirit of them to build the country in this way.
Currently, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, Yudu has a beautiful city, and of course it has beautiful mineral resources such as rare earths. All I can say as well, this beautiful city we are standing in right now, it has a glorious history, new change, and of course new atmosphere. And of course people here still carry the spirit of Long March, and I really appreciate and respect that. One more thing I'd like to say is that the people here also have a firm belief, and of course their faces are filled of love for a brighter future and of course life. All I can say, today we have experienced the history of the Long March Army and of course the legacy of the Red Army as well.
May 10, 2021, sunny. Today, I will leave Yudu and go to Jinggangshan, the holy land of China's proletarian revolution. Here, I want to say a word of it. Actually, Jinggangshan was not included in my initiary and the beginning. But in Ruijin and Yudu, I had so many descriptions about Jinggangshan period. From Jinggangshan, the name Jinggangshan appeared again and again. That made me curious about this place, so I checked it on the internet. In October 1927, Mao Zedong and the older generation proletarian revolutionaries led the Chinese workers and peasants Red Army to Jinggangshan, creating China's first rural revolutionary base area. Since then, the barely known Jinggangshan has been hailed as the cradle of the Chinese Revolution and the cornerstone of the People's Republic of China. At the same time, many high-ranking generals in the earliest days of the founding of the new China joined the revolutionary ranks of the CPC during the Jinggangshan period. So I changed my itinerary temporarily, set off to Jinggangshan to see the birthplace of the Chinese Revolution. At the same time, I also noticed that many leaders of the governments and militaries of African countries have visited this amazing place, and the president of Niger as well. I hope I will find the answer in Jinggangshan. So in the next few days, let me experience how the spark of communism started a prairie fire under such difficult conditions.
Very, very tough. And there's something else I'd like to say. I mean, the ground, it's so slippery. So meaning, if you don't pay attention, you just fall down. So all I can say, the Red Army really did a good job. 6 hours, can you imagine? Well, as you can see,